Good morning, friends, and welcome back to my backyard. And I haven't filmed in a while because I was still waiting for my electric pressure canner. They told me that they replaced the motherboard and some parts in it, and it was on its way back to me about a week ago. So we're going on week 6 without a pressure canner. So I'll show you what I've got going on. So I just couldn't wait any longer. So I wanted to get my beans done. Wanted to get my onion soup done. And I'll show you, look at beautiful. Sun's coming up. Roosters are awake, of course. Chickens are in the patio. Go on, go on. So I'm back to my old pressure canner. So what I did was I replaced the seals. I hadn't used it in a while, so that's why I replaced the seals. And then my other dial was stuck on 5%. So just to be safe, it's only about $9 for one of these. I got this. I got me a new one of these in case I needed one for 10 pounds of pressure. And I've got this, the Coleman stove going again. And I used to use, well, see, where did it go to? Like this, that you would do, crab boil or something. And it was really hard to regulate the pressure. But since I've gotten this, I keep it on the lowest setting. It comes up to pressure. It holds pressure great. It's been awesome. So I told my husband, I said, I'm just going to roll with it. Back to my outdoor canning. So I was up at 3 o'clock this morning, cooking my beans, getting the pressure canner going. And I'll show you, it's kind of going to be the aftermath of after everything is done. Because I wasn't sure how that was going to work and trying that. So let me show you. Getting ready to go in the pressure canner. I got 7 jars of the pork and beans. And I've got some left over here that I'm just going to can up plain to put like in soups and stuff like that. But here's the recipe. It's just one that I got online. It's the homemade pork and beans. So you can see it there. And then also I got French onion soup canned. And oh my gosh, folks, when I tell you I got that all made up and everything, that broth is just amazing. And I went to the farmer's market a few weeks ago, and like I said, this is going to be the aftermath. But this is what I got from the, he has a truck that he comes and stops by. It has different stops that he stops at, and you buy your beef and meat and stuff. So I was out of hamburger meat, deer meat is usually all we eat, but I'm out. So, and then he also bones with the marrow in them, and you can see, boy, I've just really cooked those down. And that's what this is. That's what I made the soup out of, because if you're feeling down and you're feeling sick, maybe feeling a little bit under the weather, that is going to be a full bone marrow, which really get your immune system going and boost it up. And so I got 5 jars of the onion soup with the first batch that I cooked through on those bones. And then so I cooked them up again. I cooked them up some more. I let them simmer overnight, and I got 2 more broths, just some plain broth out of that, but that's going to be good. Bone marrow that is going to be great to put in some soups. I can make some chicken noodle soup or something. If you're feeling down and sick, maybe this winter, that bone marrow, you can't beat that to really get the immune system working for you and fighting off those colds. So I'm getting ready to get those pressure canned, and then get the regular beans pressure canned, and then I'll be on my way to, I'm going to do some more black beans, and then I'm going to get my pinto beans done, have all my beans going. I'll probably pressure can up until Let's see what time it is. 7:30. It's still cool outside. We're supposed to have a record-breaking day today. It's supposed to be 104. So I'm going to pressure can. That's why I'm doing this so early in the morning, because that was my whole thing about not pressure canning in the middle or in the daytime, or using my outside pressure canner, because it has just been so awful as far as the weather goes. But we've been having some cool nights, some cool mornings in the 60s. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna get up when it's 60 degrees. I'm gonna get my canning done, and then by noon I'll finish up around noon, get done, and probably take a nap. So thank you for joining me. I just wanted to stop by and let you know that I'm still here. I'm still canning. Just kind of had a glitch in the system for a few days, and then we took off for the weekend and went down to the beach for a little break. And now I'm back and I'm in full canning mode. And I'll show you, I'm getting a lot of my tomatoes. Got a bunch of tomatoes coming on again from the garden. Got to do something with these. Look at one of my, I think 2 squashes I've gotten are like this, are so beautiful. And I got these cucumbers I need to do. But all of my front garden has the squash. I don't know if I've showed you my front garden before, but I have my pumpkins. I have 3 pumpkins that are turning color. I've got some more patty pan squash coming on, and then I've got my regular my spaghetti squash, and then my winter squash. And I'm letting those kind of harden up a little bit, and I'll also be canning all of those. And it's a beautiful morning out here. I just wish stayed a little bit cooler, but I'm waiting also to plant in the greenhouse. I didn't want to plant anything with it still being so hot. So I think after this week, it's going to start cooling off some. I'll get my garlic and my onion seeds, which I said I'm going to use seeds this year. But if you were with me earlier, you see some of my earlier videos, look at that tomato. That tomato plant has just taken off, and look at all the babies it's got on it. And then these are my jalapenos and my peppers, and they are just loaded. So folks, don't give up on your garden if it's having some issues and kind of having a summer lull. Just keep working with it. Keep doing some amendments. Keep it watered. Keep working with it. And look at these tomatoes. I cut a lot of these back because I told you all, if your tomatoes are not turning color and they're just staying green, if you top off your tomato plants, it'll send a lot of the energy to those. And look at that big, I got another Cherokee purple, and of course I got several Cherokee purples in the house. But look at all of these tomato plants have recovered, and they're kicking in gear, and they have all kinds of blooms on them. So you know what? I'm just going to roll with it and see how long I can get out of this season. And then these are my bell peppers. If you remember, I pulled some of these up. I bought a couple from Lowe's, but I pulled a bunch of these up. And I've got blooms going on. A couple of blooms there. A couple of peppers there. And I think I got a couple of peppers hidden in there. Oh yeah, there's a couple peppers right there. But since I moved them to this front bed where the sun is shining, they have just taken off. And look at my trellis. I was saying it was a jungle before, and I trimmed it all back and cut it all back. Well, the jungle's back. And look at those tomatoes. I topped all of those off, cut them all back, and look at all those tomatoes plants that have taken off. They have fresh blooms on them. I amended the soil. I was having, if you get the little swirls and the cracks and stuff in the top, that's calcium deficiency. So I got the CalMag, got everything treated with CalMag 2 or 3 times, got some more fertilizer on them, and they're going great. So I'm hoping I don't have those issues if I get some more of a harvest of some more tomatoes coming out, that, and I haven't seen that. It's kind of corrected itself. And then also look at, I planted, so I'm not a very good, I haven't figured out the tomato thing yet, or potato planting yet. So I pulled all these, and I got, I think you heard me in my last one of my videos that I got a good handful, a couple meals out of them. But so what I did is I took the slips of some potatoes that I had sitting back waiting and planted them almost to the bottom of the bag. And I thought maybe I need to go deeper, so and I thought they're not going to come up, anytime soon. Well, people, let me tell you what, I was so surprised. All of these have popped through up. So maybe I'm thinking a longer stretch from the seed of the potato to the top. Maybe I'll get a lot more potatoes out of that. But just walking through my garden this morning, and I'll show you my squash. And like I said again, folks, if you're really disappointed in like your squash or any of your plants and stuff, don't give up on them. Because look, I've showed it to you before, but I just kept trimming it, and I kept spraying it with I use liquid 7 for the squash bugs, and I just cut back. Like this one, I need to cut back. There's no sense in the plant putting energy into this poor looking leaf. I think I tore it all up whenever I was trying to tie this up. But look at the squash I got coming there. There's one nice one down there. There's another one there. So this plant, let me move back. Look at how it has taken off. This plant, and then this one up here is another plant, and it comes all the way. Like I said, I got these up off of the ground. Comes all the way here and goes all the way down there. So as the leaves look poorly or looking awful or whatever, I'll just cut them off, and then that's just that much less that I got to worry about treating. But then this is my zucchini plant, which I got 2 huge zucchinis. If you saw my other film, I got those all put in the freezer and ready for me to cook with. But I got a couple of blooms here, so I'm hoping, I don't see any, but I'm hoping we might get another couple of squashes or zucchinis off of that after, before it gets too cold. And my beans are doing great. They're coming on. And then my sugar snap peas are right here. They're looking great. And then, like I said, my tomato plants are just taking off again. I cut all of that way back, cut it all way down, but it's loaded. I've got loaded tomatoes in here. And I'm just going to keep going with it and keep harvesting them. Here in Alabama, it's just kind of hit and miss whether we're going to get if we get an early frost or something. But I think these are so protected, like in here. I don't think I'm gonna have any problem. Look at that big one. I'm waiting to see what that is. I'm not really sure. I had those little yellow ones in here, and then this bed was cherry tomatoes, and then my little yellow tomatoes, like that one right there. But then I have this huge thing right here. I'm not even sure what that is, but we're gonna grow it out and we're gonna see. But yeah, there's all the tomatoes there. Tomatoes here. Got some blooms coming on there. So don't give up on your even your tomatoes. If you got to do something, see, this one has that bottom rot going on, but they're loaded in here with tomatoes. So I'm gonna see how long they can go and see if I can get them ripened up. Here's a couple that I've got to pick. I gotta come out here. I haven't picked. And then here's my what is that? Brussels sprouts. There's one there, and there's one there that I planted in early spring, and the bugs just ate them up. But now they're coming on, and once I clear out these tomatoes, oh, there's another one. Once I clear out all these tomatoes, they may go ahead and do something this fall. I don't know. So we'll see. But yeah, I've got tomatoes. I can do some more batches. And That's what I did with the pork and beans. I'm like, oh, I have to use some of my canned tomatoes. So I got out two, that recipe calls for a quart, and I doubled it. So it's 2 quarts of tomatoes. So I had whole tomatoes. So I got 2 quarts out, put those through the blender, and made my pork and beans through there. And then I'll show you through here, through the jungle. And then so when I pick my fruit, this is a new addition that we got. So when I have this nifty little sink. So it's a sink all hooked up. Oh, I don't have the water on, but all my baskets are right here. The sink is hooked up. So if I'm always having the problem, I'm terrible about not having, I take all the baskets in the house loaded down with vegetables, and then I leave it in there, and then I get out here and I want to pick some stuff, and my hands are full, and I don't have no baskets out here. So I make it a routine to bring all my baskets out here, and I have this little sink that's up, little thing. It's a sink that's up on a little pedestal, and then it runs right off in there. I can clean my vegetables, wash everything down, and I have everything in this one. So I love that. That's a great addition. And then we'll probably use it whenever we go to process. If we get meat chickens again, we'll process some meat chickens and use that little sink to rinse everything off. But that's my little garden. It is just going crazy with them jalapenos. I'm going to leave them a little bit longer. Oop, let's see if they can stretch out, get on there. And these are the Shishitos. No, Anaheim. These are my Anaheim peppers right here. It's the Anaheim. What else have I got? And it's sad that I didn't have all that whenever I was making salsa and stuff. But I may be doing a whole nother round of that. Look at the blooms on these tomatoes. I may be doing a whole nother round of fresh tomatoes, fresh salsa, canning up some salsa. I do have a lot of salsa, but I had to buy a lot of my peppers and stuff. So I'm going to probably can and put up some peppers so I don't have that go on. And the same thing with my bell peppers. I don't know if I'm going to get any or not, but you know, I had to buy a lot of my bell peppers because I didn't get any out of the batches that I had down where it was too shady. So I'll put up a bunch of the bell peppers, and if nothing else, you know, through the winter and stuff, I'll have all of those peppers and then season next year. But I know next year I'm going to start, and you learn every year that you do it, something you do a little bit different. And of course my peppers are going to go here in these front beds where they get a lot more sun and a lot more, and get them started early. I ordered a bunch. I looked at some different companies, and instead of relying on, you know, I just go buy Lowe's or Home Depot or Rural King or even Tractor Supply and just go through the list and grab this, grab that. Well, I'm more planning now where I'm going to plant things, what I'm going to plant, how many varieties. Like, I don't want to do any cherry tomatoes. Maybe one for my husband. He likes those cherry tomatoes. But I'm more looking at plant now. I think I kind of know what I'm doing, but I'm going to plan my garden a little bit better, you know, and when I need to plant things, and in what season, and how I'm going to preserve them to bring them all together to make the salsas and make the like dill. And dill is very expensive, just a little old pack of dill, and I use mostly the dried dill. But if I can get me some dill growing, I will preserve a lot of that, because I can't seem to get the cucumbers and the dill growing at the same time. But I'm going to work on that this summer, or this next spring, so we'll see. So thank you folks for coming and walking around with me. I'm going to get back to canning and get some more beans done, and just enjoy this beautiful weather while we have it, because like I said, around noon or so we're supposed to be hitting 100 degrees, possibly a record today, and just have to power through the rest of this week. And then I think we're going to be on to cooler weather, and then I'll be in the garden clearing out a lot of stuff, or in the greenhouse getting all my seeds planted, so they'll be ready to go out into the raised beds once I clear all the tomatoes out in the raised beds and get those covered up. Like I said, I'm going to make a kind of a high tunnel type greenhouse, so they're planted already in the ground, and they just have a plastic over the trellises. I'm going to do a plastic over the top of the trellis, and then put bricks down on each side to kind of protect that for this winter. I did last winter have to throw some plastic over, and with we didn't get snow, but it must, I guess, maybe sleet and rain and stuff. I was pulling chunks of ice off of the plastic, off of my cabbage, but I still got about 4 cabbage heads. I had a couple that split, but I still had all that growing up underneath the plastic, even though it collapsed under the precipitation. I don't remember. I think we had like an ice storm or something like that, which is really weird for here in Alabama. It was really, really cold this last year. But anyway, thanks folks for walking around with me, and I just wanted to catch you up on what was going on. Still no electric pressure canner in sight. So like I said, I'm back to out here canning on this beautiful day right now. It's probably 70 degrees. That sun feels really, really warm, and nice fall morning. But yeah, dreaded about noon. I think I'll be ready to take me a nap. So have a great day, and thank you for looking at my video, and I'll catch you up when we get some other canning done or get some stuff planted. Talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye.